For me is morning. I'm sure that for some other people here with us, it's not very morning or it's too morning, let's say like that, because we have a session about this session is called the Voice of Young People. And the aim of this session is to have with us young people that were in a need situation, that overcome the situation, and now they are working with and for young people that are that they are not in education, employment, or training. And for that, we have two guests with us. Imagine the global, how to say, the Earth, the planet. And we have Jefferson from Colombia, which is one part of the world, and Sara from Egypt. You can see the distance and imagine that this distance is also in terms of hours, because of course you can imagine Jefferson, we already discussed a bit, it's very, very morning there, around 3:30 or something like that, in the night, in fact. And yeah, Sara in Egypt, it's the same time as in Romania, so I think it's 11:15. But anyway, you can see the physical distance and imagine where you are on the map. Even if we have this physical distance between us, fortunately or unfortunately, the challenges that a young person in any situation is facing, are the same across the globe. And it will be interesting to hear how is the situation in Colombia, how is it in Egypt. And here Sara and Jefferson, it's let's say the Zoom is yours in a way. You have the space to tell us the story of your life first, and then also the elements that help you to overcome the situation of being in need. Before starting the session, we had a very small talk, and I asked them if they would have been a book, what kind of title would their life will be. And it's interesting because both of them said that their title will be connected with power. On one hand, we have Sara, that you said that your book will be the power of emotions, because you are a very emotive person, and you pressure emotions so much. And Jefferson, you said that your book will be the power, and it's also connected with inner power. And I think these the element of power also connects with what Jan told us yesterday about the need, and the fact that the person in a need situation feels powerless, right? Feels that it's out of the track, that it's not included, it's not the feeling of acceptance. And indeed, apparently, this element of power and of being connected, you can also feel it. But that's not up to me to say it. It's up to you to describe a bit your story. So then, just a first introduction, the story, if you can tell us a bit of about yourself, the context where you are, and how is it, or how was it for you to be in any situation. And I will invite first Sara. Yeah, if you can.
Hi, hello everybody. Voice is clear. I hope that.
Very clear.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Very
Uh,
good.
first, uh, first, I'm Sara Hamouda, Egypt. I was born in Luxor. I think you hear about it. It is Luxor and Luxor Temple and Karnak Temple. I hope you will hear about that. But now I live in Asyut. It is a city in Upper Egypt for studying. Um, Sarah studied pharmacy in Asyut University, Faculty of Pharmacy, Asyut University in Egypt. Um, I love volunteering, and I'm volunteer in social so many teams, medical teams and charitable teams. And I'm a presenter in Student Research Symposium Conference, a scientific research conference in my faculty for 2 years, 2018 and 19. Um, I love language and volunteering so much. I'm so happy to be with you today, and I hope that Corona epidemic is stopped and can meet together in one place. Today I will speak from, as I can say, the homeland of the problem, as Egypt and Colombia and other poor countries and poor national income countries. It is so spread to see these situations. I will speak today in some points. Why is there where are there needy situations in these countries, and what their life looks like, and how they feel, and so important point as in Egypt and Arab countries, religion point, and some solutions together we will discuss together to apply, and how coronavirus affect need situations. First, I will speak about as I see, to solve any problem, you should um, search for the source of the problem to solve it. Um, as I was in a situation, and at first in Egypt, in our Egypt especially, why girls go to school? Why? And another point, why you have money, your children go to school. You have money and have soil and you can agriculture and have food and have you can eat and feed and live. Why you go to school? What is the main role of education to go to school? Yeah. As my father, he was a teacher. Um, School was far from my house, and need to go to walk a long road to go to school, and cars was so difficult, and my father was poor one, don't have money to have her own car to go to school. It was difficult to go to school, and all people around you say, "Why go to school?" And there I was, and two girls, my sisters, they are girls. So why go to school? They will get married and have children, and you will be grandfather and will be happy and what and so on. But my father and mother was no, they will go to school. My mother was in need situations, and um, she don't want us to be in the same situation. Um, where we go to school with our father and come back home. She teach us and learn us and try to read our books to teach us. After that, we go to secondary school. After primary, we go to preparatory school, and we were so clever, and we don't have we don't have computers, and we don't have internet and so on, but we just learn from books. and my father experience and my mother trying and try to learn math. We go to preparatory school. After that, we go to secondary school, and in secondary school, you as you called it high school, um, you need to go to another teacher. As my father was a primary teacher, kids, just kids. And that's so difficult to teach us physics and chemistry and mathematics. It was difficult for him and my mother. We should go from our village to the country, to the city. It was difficult to go from the village to the city to learn to another teachers. It was difficult, and we come back home at 30 at 10 p.m. It was difficult in the village, and we come back 10 p.m. and all people told my father and why they girls? How come they come back home at 10 p.m.? It's difficult, and and my father said, I trust there and they will do well and I will be proud of them after that. Um, all people around us get married and have babies and you just teach and learn and they will do. My father said they will do well. I will be proud of them one day. Um, my grand sister, she now graduated from Faculty of Pharmacy. Um and another one, she have educated Arab language and by excellent. She graduated by excellent, and I'm the third. I'm study pharmacy, and another brother. Um, they're in high school, and they get high marks all the years. And one day I was participated in American Embassy Amidist program, way to English, and I was a speaker and keep contact with American ambassador, and I show in TV, and all people in our village saw me, and they saw for my father, you should be proud of them. uh, she uh, she are in American embassy and with American ambassador and can speak English fluent, and she now study pharmacy, and my father now my sister has worked in hospital, and they go to the hospital to say to her, how are you, and we love you and your father, and what you did, you were great, and what and now she prepared for her own pharmacy in our village. And now we prepared for that, and I will graduate to help here, and I hope to complete my studying in another country and prepare master and PhD. Um, and I think it was a dream for my father to see us in this position, and it was like a fighter with all people. Why they go to school at first? Um, it was so like yeah, so it's our lovely dream to complete anything, and. If, 2 years ago, I was in a conference, scientific research conference in pharmacy around the country. Attended around all teachers and all professors of pharmacy around the country, and I was I made a coverage media for this conference and get contact with so many professors in medicinal chemistry and aesthetics and so on. And for the second time, I joined TV, and my father was so happy to see me. And today, I think and I believe that he is so proud of me, and his dream is come true. That's my own story, and my sisters and brother, and it was the position, the point from it I will continue. It was so difficult for me to see any people in need situations, as I feel what they do, what they did. Yeah, it was so difficult for them. Uh, I keep contact with so many people in this situation. My grandmother and my neighbors. Um, you should know that no one uh, don't love to be educated and to teach and to learn and to be in good position and to work. No one love to be stay at home, just stay at home. No, yes, we are tired, and I was when the exam started. I said, "Why am I not get married?" As they said, I should stay at home and get married and have babies. I don't want to work out. But when the exam finished, it's okay. I'm so proud of what that I did, and my father was so right, uh, and so on. Okay, for the second point, I will speak why there are need situation, where there are people in need situation. First, as I said, the village and so far countries, so far cities, they said why they go to school. Another thing, if they have soil and can do agriculture and have their own eat, it's so enough for teacher. You don't have you do they don't care at first. They don't care, and they don't care about their son's opinion. They don't ask them. They take them away from schools and give them away. They don't go to them to ask them what's your opinion. Do you want to do agriculture and keep with us, or you want to have that chance to learn and teach? And that's their right at first. And as we said, street children, and it is so common in Egypt, and children who lost his father and mother, and it is so main issue in Egypt specific, uh, street children, and another point in Egypt, distance between home and schools. Number of schools is so little, um, and loss of awareness. Um, there, you want to take 5 hours, 10, 20 um, to make them sure that education and work is important. Um, as I said, street school and street children and children who lost their father and mother. From 1 week ago in 1 week ago in Egypt, there was a trend about a child called Lemon Child. He was a child at 8 years. He lost his father and mother in an accident. He just a child found himself in the street. Um, there is no care from the country and the government and the whole society. The problem is for the whole society. I saw that I'm responsible for him. I'm a member for one society. Uh, he um, he has his daughter, his sister was at 7 years old. He was in the street to sell lemon. Um, he in the video, um someone come go to him and buy all lemon with him. He was so happy, and when he asked him why you are happy, uh, because I can eat me and my sister. It was so difficult for me. So he has her own home and bought a charge for the home every month, and he have to sell the lemon at the morning and come back home to prepare the food with his sister to eat and to. And when he asked him, "You want to go to school?" He said, "I want to make my sister eat and live." Eh, It's so difficult for me to hear these words from 8 years child. So difficult. Just when I think his mind, and when he go to sleep, he think about how can he sell the lemon in the next day, and how can get the money to pay the cost of the home as he stay. Um, it is one another point. Um, I saw that we are all responsible, all of us responsible for them. And another point, when I go to my university, I saw a child about 6 years old. He was in the street to buy uh, biscuits and chips and so on. And um put in his hand paper and pen. Asked him why. As I can, I go to school. As I can't, and they told me where the charge, where the money of the school, I still in the street. But he say one word. It is was like a knife in my heart. Um, but I love to write and read. Uh, he loved to write and read. It was so difficult for me to see a child prevention from school because of he need money. And and another there another thing, one of my neighbors, um from their position, I can speak with all emotion. Again, we come back to power of emotion.
Yes.
Uh, one day, I was with a girl from my neighbor. Um she left school at grade 4. She has spoken about her days in school. Her eyes was speaking about how she was love school, and she love studying, and she loved mathematics, and she was so clever, and um, she would hope to be a teacher and teach children. And her eyes tell me that uh, I'm responsible again for them, uh, as I'm responsible for her eyes and her emotion and for every child have the same emotion and and everyone love teaching and love learning and love education. I should give them the chance. I don't know how, but I should give them the chance, and they deserve to have the chance. And by the way, my neighbor, she is 55 years old,
Wow.
and she still has the emotion, the same emotion, and the same passion about studying and about to get the chance. And the main problem was when she left school because of the left of their village to another village. And their village, the new village was small, and the school was so bad, and the level of teaching was so bad, and teachers don't care about who's come, who's go. And he was in the city, and she come to the village for some problems, uh, come with her father. And the school in general, schools in village was so bad in Egypt. The level of education so low. It's difficult to can balance between your situation in the city and in the village. You need to be make a separation between your uh, make a separation between your position in the city and in the village. And if you have the chance to contact with these people, I think you will feel like I have felt now, and every time I'm so responsible for them.
Thank you so much, Sara. It was so great to hear your story, and also the points that you also brought up, and especially this one that you said in the end of your speech, the fact that we are responsible because we are part of the society. And it's also connecting with what Ian was saying yesterday. We had an expert on knee situation. He was saying that a person that leaves the situation is not to blame. It's not the person, it's not the young people blame, or it's not because of he or she wants to be in that situation. It is like
Yeah.
that. It's not a voluntary choice, but it's a more structured problem of the society. So thanks a lot, Sarah. Don't we? I will just maybe stop here a bit. Go to see what's the situation of need and what's the story of Jefferson, and then maybe the group participants, maybe you have questions, and then we can continue a bit, also hearing more stories from Egypt. But I will
Okay.
just, if you're okay with that, I will just now invite Jefferson to tell us how is the situation in Colombia. What's your story, Jefferson? From where it comes the power?
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Jefferson Tenorio Sinisterra Rivera Hurtado Valencia Angulo Riasco Mosquera.
No way, really?
Yeah, those last names, because here in Colombia we have lost a lot of culture. So we have been like tracking this last name with our ancestors. So and then you realize that you have a big family, relatives, but at the end we are together doing something. Like and it's really nice because I'm not alone here. I'm here in front of you just because my ancestors. It's my moment to shine, and it's my moment to give this gift to the world that I have. So I was raised in Cali. Cali is one of the city in Colombia that you love to dance salsa. We are champions around the world. We love to have party, but not that kind of party like just to have fun. No, we have a culture that when you dance, you just bounce this negative energy um, back Because if you have this kind of sensation like, okay, I'm dancing and I'm feeling well, so we are not doing that. It is the moment to praise, it's the moment to, to be with the universe, loving each other. So that's so beautiful. And also, Cali is so cultural because we have like African, indigenous, and mixed people at the same time. So you will see like the beauty. But this is also like something that I would like to discuss later on. I have, I used to live with my parents. No, I live now with my wife and my twins. I have identical twins. They were the first, yeah. So if you see that picture right there, so we have she's my wife, and I don't know how to point. This is so difficult with the camera. And they are there are the identical twins. So they are the first identical twins ever that also I asked the universe for them, and I will talk about later. Well, I was raised in a settlement. Settlements here in Colombia is like like wood communities because most of them are African and indigenous people. We have been discriminated for several years, and I don't know why. If you are black or indigenous here in Colombia, you are gonna face a lot of trouble. And trust me, a lot of trouble. First, because you are lack of food, you are lack of opportunities, you are lack of this kind of a status level because we have a status, level one, level zero, level one, level two, level four, and level five. And and obviously I used to live in level zero, you know. And why? Because my parents were displaced from their place, you know. And why? Because the government, and it's the government also, they create this kind of illegal groups in order to create this conflict with them. They fight each other to make the community leave their birthplace because they need that place to plant cocaine. You see, these illegal plants. So all the indigenous in the community, they have to leave their place and they move to the big cities. And when they get to the big cities, so that's why you don't have houses, you don't have anything to to live because we have to survive. And then my family was one of them. So we just got to this settlement because I was not there because I wasn't born yet. But then I was born in that settlement, with a lot of difficulties, violence, with this black community and indigenous together, we is fine. But when a community is fine, it's like when they introduce these drugs to the community into our 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 processes that we have in organizations, everything is lost. I used to have 20 friends, and these 20 friends now are dead just because of the violence that we used to live. One of the person that now he's not here, and it was like so difficult. Like it was my older brother. Uh, he was one of my role model, but he was trying to, you know, to live this life where you can have everything easy. Easy means like you don't want to study, because here in Colombia we have that they give you the education, but that education for the Black and indigenous community is not good. It's poor, it's super poor. It means like we receive the baddest education and the worst education ever. And then we have to compete with wealthy um, participants that they can get easily to the scholarships and the public universities because they do know everything and what to do. And trust me, when I went there to do that, the effects is called, because we do the effects test, I didn't know anything. And I'm so sure that most of my people do the same. There are some people, obviously, that they have some abilities and they want to pursue their dream, and that's so good. They study hard and they got it. But it's 5 or 3% of the population, African and indigenous community. So my older brother, he was killed, um, and I was so pissed off. 3 a.m. I was sleeping. I was 15 years old, and someone knocked on the door. I was like, what's happening? And my mother was like, what, who's knocking the door? And someone was knocking the door like so aggressive. Hey, Caliche, he was killed. Caliche was the name of my brother. And I was like, what, Caliche? No, I was like, oof, like with this anger, to do whatever for my brother, and someone told me like, who the man was, and I was about to kill him, and I was finding a gun, I don't know where to kill that person. That's it. And you know what? I found the gun and I went right to the person, and I made the best decision ever. That was be a coward. Be a coward. And be a coward for me is to leave this anger, to this hatred to the life, to universe, to God, to do whatever, because I don't want to be the same person. Because I know that if I kill that person, someone is gonna go be, behind me and for than so. And I say, I have to do something. And I reflect. Also, the person saw me, and he was like in shock. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do this. And I just, turn back and go to my house. And from that moment, I say, what I'm going to do with this anger, what I'm going to do with this anger. So, with this anger, I decided to create something beautiful. That is Bochinche Foundation. Bochinche Foundation, nobody believed it because I didn't study. I said, mother, I'm gonna do something. My mother always laughed at me, and my father too, because I always said, I'm going to be the first one, the first Tonerio that do like make the difference in this life. I'm gonna study, no matter what you think. And I'm gonna work construction because you're a working father and you are telling me to do. And I'm not gonna sell chontaduro in the street. Chontaduro is a typical fruit here. And I'm gonna do it. You see, I'm not gonna do it. But guess what? I ended doing it. That was so funny because I was like, trying to do the best, to do social work, and it was so hard. No opportunities. I was working with my father, like from 6 to 6, then go to sleep and continue like that. It was so hard. And my father said, don't worry, you can improve. You can get a promotion. Look at me. I get a promotion, and now I have this earning. And I said, like, Father, but I feel that I have this energy and I want to go for more. So and I'm feeling this from the mother, from my brother's mother. My father all the time, no, you cannot do it. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. So I decided to say, okay, I'm gonna study. And then I studied English, in an institute, because my IFES was terrible. So I cannot apply to a university, well, a public university. So I went there, and one person, the first class, asked me, okay, what's your name? hey, what's your name? Tell me, what's your name? And I was like, asking the other guy, like, hey, what is that? And he told me, hey, your name. It was like kind of funny because it was, there were a lot of people, and we were like two guys, my cousin and me, studying English, and it was so difficult, and we were the only black guys in the room, so everybody was laughing at us, and it was like kind of difficult, and I was like, no, my God, we have to do something, and I said, no, I'm gonna quit, it's fine. I'm going to continue working construction. It's fine. Let's go. And I went to my house. I remember that day, and I said, Mother, I'm not going to continue studying. It's fine. I'm gonna do what you want me to do, but I'm ready. Just take me to church, okay?
I hope, Jefferson, you're frozen a bit. I hope you're back soon. I think that the energy and the passion that you released was a bit too much for the internet available.
Yeah. I think the same. But yeah, I think he will make it. I mean, before he frozen again and he came back, so
Yes.
he will make it.
But anyway, yeah, wow, great stories from realities, very different, but still a lot of similarities. I think I noticed between the two stories. We had both. Yeah, I think that both Sara and Jefferson, you are real heroes. You know, right? You are changing also the culture in your family. Jefferson, you are back. I was trying to keep the flame a bit.
It is. And now I'm with my cell phone. Okay. So I went to my with my mother.
Yeah.
And she said, like, do you listen to me? It's fine.
Yes, we can listen. Yes.
Okay. So I went to my mother's house. So she was there, and she told me, like, Jefferson, you know, like, we never had a professional in the family. And the day that you told me that you want to study, so I said, like, Jefferson, you should continue doing this. But if you want, okay, just work construction and come with me sometimes to work. But you are not going to receive any money from me, not even from your father. So you have to make the way through in order to show me that you are a person ready to change or to break the boundaries, because you don't have any opportunity in this settlement. So I talked to my mother. I said, Mother, thank you very much for your advice. And guess what? I immediately started like, boom, boom. Oh, studying. What is that? Okay, what's your name? My name is Jefferson. Okay, yes, my name is Jefferson. Where are you from? Where are you from? Oh my God, where are you from? Yeah. Where are you from? I'm from Cali. Oh my God, yes, I'm learning. Tan. And I started, like, you know, having this kind of anger for, like, hungry, I don't know, kind of hunger to have whatever I want in English. At the end, I finished with an intermediate level. So I went to my house and I said, Mother, I don't know what to do. And my mother said, hey, find a job with that. Find a job with that. Guys, 1 year finding a job and I couldn't make it. 1 year. And I was like, Mother, I don't know what is happening. But they say that no, that, you know, that maybe I could find another job. And I know, because the discrimination when you have this kind of dreadlocks, when you have a different hairstyle, because you have to be the profile that they want, obviously that they are not going to hire you. When that happens, you know that you have to do something, but not in this plane. For me, it was just the mindset, because I have like a lot of things in my mind going on, because I feel discriminated, because I don't like to go to these expensive malls because I don't deserve it. So I belong to this settlement. I believe everything. So I was like kind of, you know, focused on that, and I realized about it like further. So I said, Mother, now I don't know what to do. I would like to go to the university, but I don't have any money. I don't have anything. So what can I do? My mother said, go to the university, to the private one, ask, and then find a way to study. I went with my IFES. I went to the place with my IFES, and they say, what? What is this? And I said, like, it's the only thing that I have. Okay, we can accept you, but you have to pay like 1,800,000 pesos. That's a lot of money here in Colombia. And I said, like, what? Yes. Are you ready to do that, you can have this, you can have this, you can ask for a loan if you want. And I say like, okay, I'm gonna try. This is something that I don't know what is happening, but your family, when you have this and you ask for support to study, they don't give you money. It's incredible. Hey, relatives, you know, uncle, aunt, I need this money. Maybe you can help me every month in order to study, you know, or you can support me, you know, give you some papers. And yeah, and maybe if I don't pay, you will pay, but I'm gonna pay. So don't worry. No, 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 Jefferson. Continue working because you don't deserve that. You know, we are black. What are you going to study? Why? It's not necessary, Jefferson. No, don't go to that way. But you know, when it's the moment for drinking, then you have the money. When it's the money, you know, to spend with the family, with the girls, my uncle, they have the money, but not to support you. Not. And that's so sad because I had the best psychologist, my pillow. I always went to my bed, cried in secret with my pillow. I talked to my pillow. My pillow listened, you know, to me. He didn't say anything, but he listened to me. And after that, I said, like, I have to continue. And I had this kind of problem. I don't know if it's a problem because I started to have this kind of dreams that my older brother was telling me, like, you're gonna be exactly like me. You know, you're not gonna get your dreams. And I was like going crazy these days. And I was like, no, what am I gonna do? You know, I was praying. I was, you know, I wanna be a different person. I wanna go for that. I have this, just the name of the Bochinche Foundation, and I haven't done anything. Look, I don't have a foundation, but just the name. I don't have it. I didn't have it. Oh, not legal. I just know I have a foundation. I want to do something great for my people. You know, and this is kind of funny. I'm telling you this smiling because it was so painful. You know, super mega painful. And I can say, like, you know, I stand up for my people right now because I finally, you know, got the right person to say, I'm going to support you, but not paying you, like to giving the back cap, you know, to support you, but you pay your university. Hey, hello. You listen to me? Do you listen to me?
You are again blocked.
Jefferson, no, we hear you. We see you. Jefferson, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, we hear you.
Okay, perfect. So, and I found the wrong person, and I say, thank you very much, and I'm gonna do my best. The first class, when I get to the university, the professor, hello, how's everything going? And I said, perfect. Today we have to talk about your personal life. And you know, a little bit introduction about what are you doing in your life. Everybody, you know, there was like, I am doing this and this and this and this. And me, I talked, you know, and I was afraid, shaking. Like the first classes, I was like, speechless. And you know what the professor said? You give me the reason to continue thinking what the black person is. I was like, ooh. I went to my house and I talked to my mother. And I said, Mother, I'm not going to continue today. This is so hard. Look at the professor said this. I don't know. Because, you know, obviously that in my school that was so poor in education, I was like saying like, oh, okay, I had the best education ever. But then when you go to the university, you had the worst education ever. You don't know how to read well, to perform, to make some performances, you know, your speech, anything. You don't know. And it was my mistake, you know? And then my mother said, Jefferson, don't worry. You have two options. 3, go to work with your father, construction. Go with me in the street to work and sell fruits. And the third one, continue what you're doing. I'm not gonna give you anything. And I was like, oh no, it's so hard. They discriminate me. Jeferson, stop saying that. Just continue. And I was like, okay. And okay. I went to the class again and I was like so much paying attention to everything that the professor was saying, and then we have like a second presentation and I was like, I want to go first. And I went and I was there just in front of the people and I rap, I made a song with my presentation because I didn't know how to make it. And then I was started like rapping, pam, 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 with a track about Socrates. I remember that it was about Socrates. Pam, 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 pam. That day was the best ever. The professor was like, wow, that was amazing. Nobody did this presentation before. It was like outstanding. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I got it. And then this, from that moment, like everything changed. I was like studying more. Nobody worked with me because I decided to go to work with my father again because I didn't have money to pay my university. So I have to pay a lot of money. So I didn't have photocopies. I didn't have money for doing something. I always got late to the class. It was like so difficult because I studied languages, imagine, but they give me like these other subjects. So it was so difficult for me, but at the end I made it. Made it is like in fourth semester, I had this kind of ability to speak in front of the people. They looked at me for different like kind of strategies and also like for making this presentation better. And I was like, wow, Jefferson, you have improved. And then the beautiful moment here is where everything, took the beautiful structure that I wanted to, So there was a scholarship, a fellowship called Martin Luther King Fellowship, sponsored by the US Embassy. And I was like, what is that? And I was applying because there were a lot of people applying for the public university and me from the private university. So nobody get that. So obviously I applied and I got it. And they really taught me how to be a really nice leader with the community and have a really big impact. So from that moment, I created in a massive way my structure of my foundation. So Bochinche Foundation now is beautiful. Why? Because we work with 5 temples, with 5 temples. We don't say branches or whatever, like topics, no. We work with 5 temples. And the first one is art, and we do there. So we go to Invisible Borders of Violence. If you don't know what is Invisible Borders of Violence, it's like when you have 2 bands, and fighting for a territory, and you have one block that nobody can be there because you can be killed. So the community cannot go through. So, and we are there with a stage, with performances, with art, culture, tents, poetry, and the community go there and just expose and talk about their necessities and why they are in and whatever. So we started deleting this invisible border for violence through the community, and then the gangs, we go to talk with the gangs, and we have an agreement because they are going to continue shooting each other, but the community is gonna be safe. Second, environmental awareness, that is the Bochinche Ambiental, that is the second temple. And we were everything related to environment. Third one, human rights. Mm-hmm. And fourth one, that is leadership. And finally, sexuality. So we have 5 temples, and each temple has a coordinator. And this is so nice because we are 7 people. And when I started this foundation, I wanted to find the 7 people with some characteristics of the chakra energy, And so I was looking for these people, and these 5 people just gave me this opportunity to grow with the foundation. So for me now, it's working so fine, so perfect, and we have like so many recognitions with the mayoralty, and now our life have improved a lot. So now I'm not living in a settlement. So now I'm working with a lot of organizations like Youth Ambassador Organization, like UNESCO organizations. Now I'm working with the mayoralty, doing some projects. I have traveled through in different conferences and workshops, and also international programs. And one of the thing that really changed my mind was when I was selected to travel for the first time to the United States to receive the 7 mindsets to be successful. The 7 mindsets to be successful. I remember that day I didn't have money to take, the bus, and also I didn't have so much resources. My mother find the way, and I went to Disney World to receive that. Imagine me in a settlement, discriminated with not many opportunities, and you have this opportunity. Now your father, I always believed in you. I know my uncles, wow, I knew it, that you have this powerful energy. That's not real. That's not true. But then they started giving you money. Like, what? This is insane, And when I came from that program, it was just amazing. You know why? Because I changed my mindset, and from that moment, like everything is possible. We are connected. Attitude or gratitude. We are 100% responsible of everything that happened. Passion first. And we have the other one that is missing, one that I don't remember. But those mindsets just gave me this power, to say I'm worthy, and Jeferson Tonerio, to look in me, like look at the mirror and say like, wow, you are so papacito. Papacito is handsome, no? You say, you are so handsome. Oh wow, I love you so much. Look at the way that you are. You are here just to give the best of the best to your community. And prune, you started like, giving this energy. And at the end, we just made, we just inspired a lot of people from the things that we were doing in the community. You see? And last thing, that was like, I was in Dubai, and for me that was like incredible. Travel to Dubai and spoke in front of a lot of people with a lot of money, telling me like, Jeferson, I love your process. We want you to speak here. And when I spoke, it was like, wow, I almost cried because it was like a dream to be there. A person that doesn't have any opportunity, now they have it. Now they believe in themselves. Now a person that believes in his power. So get to these places, for me, it's amazing. So my life changed. I changed. Look at this is very important. The thing that I want to say now. My life changed, but also I changed my mother's life, my father's life, my sister's life, and all the people that now are following me. That they believe in me. So my mother started to study. Now she finished her high school. My father too, my sister too, and now they are pursuing to go to the university. My mother, she's going to the university. She's 52 and she's going to the university. So this is crazy.
So, Jeferson, yeah, that's indeed so nice to hear. And also, I think what is also in common with Sara's story is this idea that if you change, you also change people around you, right? Because for Sara, you were the same. You are one of the first or the only one in your family following education, right? And now your sisters are also doing it. And it's the same for you, Jeferson. Thank you so much for this energy and input. Now I would also ask the participants, or give the participants the option, and not the option, but the opportunity to put you questions. If they have any questions for your stories, both you and Sarah's. We still have 15 minutes dedicated to questions and answers. So any thoughts that you have, any questions that you have for Jeferson and Sarah, please, now it's the moment. Any reactions? We have some claps from Maria. Thank you. You can, we have feedback in the chat. Great stories, man. Indeed. Yeah. Until people maybe think of questions. What was interesting for me for your both input was the support that you received from your close family, because Jeferson, you also mentioned your mother. Sarah, you were mentioning a lot your father, that they were encouraging you to go to education and pushing you towards not staying in a need situation, but being on track. And I think this is an important element, to have the support of your close family. Because Jeferson, you were mentioning that the other relatives do not necessarily trust in your process, but at least you had someone. And this is important, to have someone that trusts in you and believes in you. I think this is one of the key factors. Yeah.
Romina, can I?
Sure. Yeah.
What I also said, it's not only support, but a good mentor, advisor, just showing you different ways in life. Because at the end, what I believe, there are different paths that we can take in life. And so how do you think other young people can access such a mentor? Because not everybody is lucky that Jeferson had the mother and Sarah had the neighbor, and having their own life experience help you to drove away. So they just really support you, not maybe financially always, but emotionally, to choose a way that you will be more happy. So how do you think this is possible, to find somebody just showing the right ways? Because there are several young people in your situation, or in different situations, and it's important not always the support emotionally, but mentally, having this advisor, mentor. What do you think?
So Sarah, you go first or I go first? I don't know.
You go then. You open the floor. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, to have a role model is so important. And you are not looking for a person. I think the person just appear when you are ready. That's the thing. When you take the path and decide that I want to study, I want to do this, and I want to make a change for my life. There are some people that they don't have this kind of awareness, but it's fine. But they will always have some people to guide you. So someone is going to appear and tell you, hey, you should do this. And we have to pay attention to this, to this energy, because we say, oh, okay, it's fine, and you continue in the same way. No, I think it's really important that we pay attention to our mentors that arrive to our life and give this kind of messages. Because I have Amanda Giraldo, Helber Sanchez, and I have Joellen and Beth. They are my mentors, and they got to my life and they told me, Jeferson, you are a good leader. You should do this. Hey, come to my activities. I would like to teach you something. And then I learned great things, and I started to change a lot this mindset, and also with the Martin Luther King Fellowship, that they showed me how to impact, first myself, my life, the way that I speak, because also they say, Jefferson, if you want to find a job, you don't have to find a job. You have to, you have to find a job, but don't looking for a job. If you want to work, don't work, just labor. And then you find an employment, but don't work, because work is from slaves. So they say, like, you have to change the way that you say the things in order that you create a different perspective for your life. So that's what I say.
Thanks. Sarah, would you? Yeah.
Okay. As we said, we are all responsible for those people. We are all responsible for them. For that, we should think about orphans. There is no father and no mother. For that, I think about make an organization care of them, and not just education as limited for all people. Education, go to school and learn how to write and read and so on. No, we should make it as so open definition for education. Anyone can do something good. If orphans and in three situations, people, all of them, what she or he loves to do, and we will support him. Me and Jefferson and all people who put in these situations can do well in this organization and help them. We should first search for those people, then spread awareness and make organization, and then change the vision of education. There is people love to painting, and there's people very clever in building and so on. They can do what they can do with their hand. It is will be possible or impossible for some people to everything related to their mental. It is difficult to 50 years old or 40 person to tell him, now we will go to learn how to write and how to read. It will be difficult. I know we can do that with young people, to learn him and teach him and to join faculties and so on. But I care about also old people who want to work, who want to participate in the society, and they love to give their touch in the life before they leave. So that we should search for a solution for them as what they love. As you, if you sit down to old woman and she told you, I love to make clothes and help in cooking. If she's clever in cooking and can do well in cooking, okay, now why not? You can open a restaurant and do something you love. That's my vision for that.
Yeah, and indeed, we also discussed a bit, I think, yesterday, that when a person is in a need situation, it's also kind of trauma that person lives and feels, and it's also important for us to go towards them and approach them from their perspective. And it's also what you said, Sarah. You know, if that person likes to do something, you know, you approach that person through that. You like to, and then you start the on track process. That's to put that person on track from what that person likes to do, and not from the from outside, but from inside. Any other questions? Any other remarks? You can see both Sarah and Jefferson. You can see also the chat there. There were some comments there, and mainly Greetings and thanks for your presentation. I think you brought a lot food for thoughts in our discussion and in our process of the conference. Yes, Maria, would you like to?
Romina, me or
Yes,
otherwise?
yes. No, you. I see that you are unmuted. Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Thank you both. Really, really inspiring stories. And yeah, there were a few moments in your story that I thought, actually, that came back. You know, in Sara's stories and you, Jeferson, about the support and about the people who didn't believe in you in the beginning, but once you kind of succeeded in it, that they wanted to be, you know, like part of that success. Yeah, like. But I wanted to ask you, Jeferson, because to me it sounds kind of really risky and dangerous, like what your organization is doing, or like the members of your organization are actually in constant threat and a risk. If you're like between two gangs, and I don't know how to imagine, but for me that's like a movie story, you know, sorry. But how do you motivate people then to join your organization and, you know, like to risk their lives in almost to change the lives of other people?
Okay, there is one thing. Thank you so much for your suggestion, and also like it's really risky, and I'm gonna give you the meaning of bochinche. Bochinche is gossip. You see in English. So gossip for us in our community is like we wanted to know what was happening in the town in order to solve the problem. So we are so gossipers, you know, we are gossipers. So we like to know what's going on and also to help. So that's why bochinche just bring these scenarios to this particular point. So once we were with these beautiful performances, organizations, you know, in that point of where nobody can be, and one day they started shooting each other, and then we were like, you know, down, come on the floor, and we were with kids, and you know, with a lot of people, it was so difficult. And I was on the stage, you know, as a speaker, and then it was like, oh my God, I don't want to die here. You know, it was like, it's fine, but I don't want to die. But like after 5 minutes, we were on the floor, the police came and they say, oh, okay, who told you to do this here? Because you need our protection and whatever. And I said, hey, you should be here with us. We don't have to ask for your protection, because you know that we have been also it's so weird because we sent a letter to the police officer and they didn't come to us. You see, it's so weird. And at the end we continued doing our event, and that was the first deleting that we have, and it was a success because also the mayoralty came. The mayor came to the place and say like, wow, how are you doing, guys? And you talk to the gangs and whatever, and then the community can go through, and this is insane. And I say like, yeah, this is the thing that you should be doing. and also, of course, I was like kind of not doing these activities anymore so often, because once a leader from one gang, you know, came to me and say, okay, you have to move because you are taking my youngsters, you know. And I said, you're taking my youngsters because they sell drugs. And I said, no, man, I'm just doing my job. And then just 2 days after, two men on a motorcycle came to me and grabbed me and took me to a place. And I thought that I was going to die. You know, I was in this room, and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to, I was crying, you know, because I was just doing my thing. And I was praying, oh my God, if this is the time, please don't make it like hard or whatever. And then they, you know, they opened my eyes with something that I have covered, you know, and I saw, and he was coming, there was coming a man, and that man was a person that studied with me in the school. And I was like, man, what are you doing? You're gonna kill me, come on. And the man, Jefferson, what are you doing here, man? And the man Jefferson, I didn't know that it was you, man. I was about to kill you, and man, but I'm doing just well. And I was crying, and it was at the end I was saying, like, man, I'm sorry, but I didn't know. And he told me, like, Jefferson, you have to move to another territory, continue working in another place, but not here, because if not, I have to kill you, because if I don't do it, they will kill me. So I'm going to release you, but make sure that you are safe. And from that moment, I say, I'm going to take some time, but I continue doing what I have to do. I'm sorry. There is no option to stop. I have to continue doing what I have to do. We have so many leaders. We have so many processes in different territories now here in Colombia. So I always make sure to, to just do some activities and coordination activities in some places, but not go physically, because some people, they just get, angry because of that. Yeah.
Wow, Jefferson, I think you are bringing the notion of courage to a next level in our field. It's like, yeah, and of taking a risk. I think you are bringing a complete new dimension, because for us it sounds like a movie. Unfortunately, it's a reality for many of the people around the world. And thanks for bringing this awareness also in our group. Unfortunately, the session is ending now. It was such an inspiring morning for me, at least. I've learned so much from you. Thanks so much for bringing your energy and your knowledge in this group and in this process. What I can say from our side as a team, that we will continue to bring you and your contribution in the process, in the conference for the next days. You will be mentioned, and you will not be forgotten for sure. If you'd like to join us in the next sessions, you are more than welcome to join us. Of course, Jefferson, it's a bit night. Unfortunately, we cannot change the hours of the conference. But Sara, I know that you are also very much engaged in exams. Good luck with your exams in the university.
Pray for me.
Yes, exactly. We send you some prayers, some good energy. And I do hope that maybe someday we will also meet face to face, and we will have this kind of discussions also in a residential place. Thank you.